All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, after winning the AFC North last year, it's going to be very tough for the Pittsburgh Steelers to replicate that, especially after they were embarrassed today at the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals 41 to 10. Now, the Steelers have now given up 41 points in consecutive games because remember, last Sunday night, they lost on the road to the Los Angeles Chargers by the score of 41 to 37. And if you look at their last four games overall, they're 1-2-1. And then their one win, we saw them give up 27 points to a Chicago Bears team that has problems scoring points themselves. Then on top of that, the Steelers tied at home with the winless Detroit Lions. Today, we saw veteran quarterback Ben Roethlisberger have three turnovers, two interceptions, and a fumble. And the more you see him play, the more you realize he's getting very close towards the end of the line. And I would be very surprised to see Big Ben return to the Steelers as their starting quarterback in 2022. Defensively, Pittsburgh could not stop Bengals running back Joe Mixon as he had 165 yards on the ground today to the tune of 28 carries. The Bengals dominated the Steelers today in every facet of the game. We saw Cincinnati get the opening kickoff, march down the field on a scoring drive that took off more than 5 minutes off the clock to begin the contest. And after that, Cincinnati simply never looked back. We saw the Bengals absolutely dominate the second quarter. And with that said, they outscored Pittsburgh in that quarter 21 to nothing to take a 31 to 3 advantage to the locker room at the half, and they simply never looked back. You look at it right now, and it's gut check time for the Steelers because they're 5-5-1. They're currently in the basement of the AFC North. Granted, I know that it's a battle between all four of those teams, but right now Pittsburgh is looking up. And of course, Baltimore is set to host Cleveland tonight. But nonetheless, it's a situation. You look at the rest of the Steelers' schedule, they have two games left with the Ravens. They have a meeting with the Titans. They also have a meeting with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are playing much better right now. And then the rematch with the Cleveland Browns. Bottom line is Pittsburgh needs to get healthy, but they also need to get back to their physicality on the defensive side of the football, which we have not seen in recent weeks. Also, offensively, I want to see this team run the football more with Najee Harris. That's the big thing for the Steelers right now. They have to run the football effectively with Harris because when you do so, it takes the ball out of Ben Roethlisberger's hands. And Big Ben, at this point in his career, is not a guy that you're going to ask to go out there and throw the football 40 to 50 times a game. It simply is not going to work if you want to win, if you are the black and gold. Nonetheless, it's doable. But the bottom line is the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got to realize, you know what, it's put up or shut up time. This is on Mike Tomlin, that Steelers head coach, and this is on the veterans in that locker room. They've got to be up for the challenge. They've got to be ready to go. You've been punched in the mouth today by Cincinnati. You've given up a lot of points in recent weeks, and the Steelers need to get back to that tough defense that we've known from them. They got a lot of veteran presence on that side of the ball, guys who can get after the quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Steelers can do to bring it going forward. Also, on top of that, like I said, get the football to Najee Harris. That's the bottom line. Get the football to him. And this offensive line, they got to get it going as well to open the holes for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Steelers do going forward. This right here has to be an eye opener if you're Pittsburgh. Nobody expected this today. This was expected to be a more tightly contested game. But now, if you're Pittsburgh, you've gotten swept by the Bengals this year. They showed that when they went to Heinz Field earlier this year, it was no fluke because today's loss was even worse than the previous loss of the season. So it's really going to be interesting to see what the Steelers can do and how they respond to this blowout loss at the hands of the Bengals. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Excuse me. Now, if you're on Twitter, Please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.